That's right. Go on and record. Show me that live symbol. Excellent, excellent. All right. Hello, everyone. Or, as Obi-Wan says, hello there, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Talk Piece. Just another chill talk show that I've come up with. You guys should be no stranger. Everyone's doing chill talk shows nowadays. Now I'm throwing my hat in the ring. So, last episode, I had Tyler on here for a half hour, and it was a lot of fun. If you guys have not seen the discussion with Tyler, or if you don't know who Tyler is, go ahead and just go hop on over to the first episode. I'll have a card in the video on the top right, link in the description. You know the drill by now. But for this episode of Talk Piece, I am bringing in an old friend of mine. Yes, all the way from the center of Alaska, I have brought in the Prime Minister of Texas, world champion Watkins. How do you do, mate?
What? Well, Alaska's cold, and being the Prime Minister of Texas sucks. I hate it here. I want to be on Whole Cake Island again.
Whole Cake Island. Don't you know what happens on that island? Like, there is like there's like a grave child mortality rate there.
Yeah, but the Disney songs you get to participate in, and the tea parties.
Okay, well, I think like the only humans you see in the tea parties are like those gospel singers or just the backup choir to Big Mom. Everyone else is like a chair, a tree, or the sun.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Are you really? Are you content with just turning into like a cherry bush and just so you can sing the fa 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 part?
No, I'll be one of the saxophone players playing with the singers. You know, yeah. Well, we got this.
Do saxes exist in One Piece?
Yeah, because what's his face? Igaram had one with Vivi.
Oh my god! My god!
And then Apu's arm can turn into like a clarinet or soprano sax or whatever.
That's right. My god. It's been a hot minute since the saga of Igaram.
Oh god. The first non-death disappointment.
First non-death. It's quite a statement we can have, and I feel like we're gonna have that discussion a lot more because yeah, as the title has suggested, for this episode of Talk Piece, I want to try more. We're still in the beginning stages of this, you know. I don't know if I'm just going to stick with one topic or we're just going to be casual for the hell of it. But this time, I just want to talk about Wano, or really the Onigashima raid, how Wano could end, where we go from there. We got an hour to do that. Yeah, I'm really focused on just maybe keeping this kind of show down to like a half hour to an hour maximum. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and I guess I should just ask you there, Watkins, old friend of mine, how do you feel about the arc so far?
So far, it's okay. It's got its issues, mainly in the pacing department when we're talking about the manga, but it's okay. It hasn't lived up to that being better than Marineford hype that they kept trying to put down our throats.
I thought that was oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, but I think it's gonna be getting there soon.
I thought that was the final war that Oda kept saying it was going to top Marineford.
He said that Wano was going to top Marineford, and that the final war was going to be the biggest war they've ever written for One Piece.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah.
Didn't he say? Well, I don't remember if it was him or an editor that said it was going to be the biggest war in all of shonen history or something like that.
I think that was just a mistranslation for that. Because I did see one that said that, but then I saw a translation that said in all of One Piece history.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I think it was just a mistranslation with the whole in shonen history.
Yeah, I read that and I'm just think to myself like, all right, I'm not the most well-versed in every single shonen story, but I have a feeling that's not the case. There has to be some story that has a larger cast of characters, or really just down the line, someone's probably going to top it.
I can already say My Hero Academia right now is topping a lot of the war arcs that I've read in anything.
Yeah, it's not even like a war. It's like kind of like it's like One Piece right now. My Hero Academia right now, for those that don't know, is currently, without going into spoilers, it's kind of doing like its own raid arc. Like it's doing its own little raid arc story. And let's just say that the villains, the heroes, the stakes, it's just like, oh, this is some really good stuff we're seeing right now.
Yep. Oh, it's so good.
I've been liking what I'm seeing. I am feeling though the latest chapter, the whole inner world thing. This is still not going to be a spoiler, but you know what I'm going to be talking about. That I feel like the inner world feels like just a little bit of a cop out.
I mean, at least we've had it established in the world, like that inner world kind of thing. At
I
least
understand. I understand that it's on one side. The other side, though, is where I'm just like, oh no. It feels like we're about to have a 180 from a character. I'm like, nope, no, you don't. No, go away.
I haven't really like actually read it. I've seen the spoilers, but I haven't really like read it. I'm waiting for the official release.
Good, because with that being said, you still don't know what I'm talking about, because I'm really making sure that I'm as vague as possible.
Is it the last page? Because I've seen that, and I've seen like some other panels.
To keep you free along with others, potentially, possibly.
Okay, we can talk after this then, because we're not talking about My Hero Academia.
Yeah, instead, we're going to be talking about Naruto and its war arc going on right now. For we see Naruto is facing his greatest adversary yet, Vegeta, in Super Saiyan 4 Blue mode right now. So, Watkins, who do you think is going to win? Vegeta, and why do you think it is Vegeta?
I think it's going to be actually a wild card. I think Hitsugaya is going to come in and just decimate both of them quite handily.
Okay. Even though the last character in Dragon Ball GT with ice powers that came in to fight a Super Saiyan 4, it didn't end well for him.
Well, he's not Hitsugaya, so
people are probably really pissed. Like, get the fuck onto it. Get to Wano already.
Get on with it. No, you will sit there. You will sit there and listen to our banter.
I do love our banner. It's like, it reminds me of Justin and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we work off of each other pretty well. I'm not intending to brag. It's just like, I can tell who good friends of mine are depending on the banter that we have. And Watkins, you're pretty top tier right now.
Yay. Yay.
We've known each other for 38 years.
For thousands of years.
I have laid dormant.
Oh, hey, buddy. Fuck off.
I guess I should give my own take of Wano. Wano is interesting right now. It's hard. I don't like to give a review of something until it's like completed. Yeah. It's kind of like I made a video on Whole Cake Island where I reviewed the whole story. Not the whole story. I reviewed the whole arc of Whole Cake Island up until the wedding. I think the video came out right before the Katakuri introduction. And I kind of regretted it because if I remember right, a lot of the stuff that I said, like, I got wrong. The story would continue to prove me wrong. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna wait. I can still see what my impressions of the story are. And in Wano, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then in other cases, I'm like, oh, well, that's not cool, dude. Oh, right. No, not radical. If you guys have seen my future past streams, which are unfortunately been privated because copyright bots have been swarming people.
Yeah.
including myself. I'm still waiting on a strike to expire in November, but
Yeah.
um,
I got 1 more month on mine.
welcome to the club. But yeah, it's I'm literally just waiting for it to expire. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that there were a few moments quite recently during the Onigashima raid where the enjoyment of certain moments have been ruined because I'm just saying like, whoa, okay, hold the fuck up. By the
Mhm.
way, should we just give the spoiler warning of just like we've
Oh,
covered basically everything up to the manga?
yeah, we are talking about everything up to 991. So if you haven't read One Piece up to there, what the fuck are you doing here? Go away, read up to that chapter, and then come back to this video. And yeah.
Yes, respectfully go away because I don't want to be responsible for spoiling anything. Because I am disappointed with some aspects, but there's still some good stuff in there. Don't get me wrong. Go visit your parents. See if they have a copy of the Stratego board game. Play a few rounds. By the time you're done with that, the One Piece anime should have caught up with the manga.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I mean, right now the anime's like about a year away. So, yeah, it's been keeping that consistent for the past few years.
Yeah, so there's a spoiler warning. I'm probably gonna put in the title as well,
Yeah.
just to make sure I'll probably type Wano/Onigashima spoiler warning. Just that, keep it safe. But yeah, with that being said, the what I was hinting at earlier was the fact that, and we recorded this together, Walk-ins, where it was the chapter when all the Straw Hats got in
Oh,
their
yeah.
action poses for the group shot.
Mhm.
And I was too distracted by the fact that Sanji just teleported and that we were missing a scene between the Luffy and Zoro and how they interacted with the rest of the crew. It's just like, oh, hey, they're here. Okay. Oh, Sanji's here too. Wait, where the
Yeah.
fuck did you come from? Then we have the big group moment. I'm just sitting there like, oh, what the fuck? Okay, group moment. Yay! Round of applause for the gents and ladies. But is this supposed to be satisfying? I feel like we haven't earned it yet.
Yeah, and yeah, no, I know you were very hung up on that. I think I was very hung up on that chapter with the fact that Sanji just immediately took off his raid suit. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why would you just do that just to go back there and then more than likely have to go back to it? What? Okay, whatever. But that's not even the most egregious thing that we've had in Wano. I mean, we've had fights being skipped. I mean, the most horrible one was this past chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Having Neko and Inu going in at Jack off screen. We don't see, like, I could understand if we just get maybe a one shot of it, of them one shotting Jack. Fine, whatever. At least show me. At least show the attack and whatever. But no, instead, we just cut right to Jack falling on his fat elephant butt. And Kaido at least praises Jack. I applaud Kaido. But then it's just like the reveal of what Neko and Inu look like in their Sulong. And I'm like, that's cool and all, but like, can we talk about the whole buildup of the Minx getting their revenge on Jack for Zoe? How that was just off screen?
Yep.
Like, come on, man.
Don't you realize this was one of those fights where like I would be perfectly content if there was like a flashback shown of just like all the Mink citizens losing their lives, losing their shit over what Jack did to them, and have that anger fuel cat dog up there, or should I say rabid cat dog up there to deal some good blows, deal the finishing blow. But yeah, as you said, literally we just see Kaido go like, oh, don't worry, Jack, they're just too strong. And then we get the pose, and then Jack's like, well, time to tap out, and then just fumbles over. Apparently there's a sword stuck in him too, so shame. That's a shame.
And I mean, you and I have had this talk before about the anime and the manga and blah blah blah, like all that stuff. I understand the argument of the two different bullshit things. Yes, I get that. I understand that. I can accept that. But like the like to be honest, I am still on the fence with that argument because as a whole, like if you look at something as a whole as well, like your example with the whole like Marvel movie thing, it's a decent example. But like I don't know. I can separate those two more compared to an anime and a manga, if that makes sense. Like, because I can look at that as a whole, you know, whereas I can look at a comic, like I can look at a Spider-Man comic and a Spider-Man movie and think of those as two different entities. An anime and a manga, I don't know. I can see that as a whole product.
If
that makes sense.
I hear you. If I can interject, though, I think we should give context in case no one has watched us before.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, the context of this was that a few weeks ago, someone was making oh, don't worry, if there's a mistake in the manga, it's no big deal because the anime will surely fix it. Therefore, the manga is untouched by that. It's perfect still. And then my whole argument with the whole Brain and Marvel is like, just because the anime does something, that doesn't excuse the manga for fucking up. My example was that if I read Marvel's Civil War comic and I read through that and I was like, okay, well, I found a couple issues there. And then some random guy comes behind me and it's like, don't worry, if you find issues with Marvel's Civil War comic, the movie will fix it. Then I go watch the movie adaptation. And then I'm just like, oh, okay. There were some things I liked and didn't like. It's a very different take on it, but that didn't really fix the comic book. And it's like, well, you're just a hate Nazi. I'm like, what the fuck? No.
Yeah.
And to actually provide another example for you, because for one of my videos that I'm working on, it's a Rurouni Kenshin video.
Ooh.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun if I can get it done in time. But basically, I've noticed some very, very how do I put this? The manga and the anime, while the anime is faithful in a lot of areas, it feels like the anime is too faithful, where you will see shots in Rurouni Kenshin where oh my god, how do I explain this? It's basically they did okay, I think I get it. So in the anime, there are moments where you see an action shot and it looks like they just made a color panel. Like they took a manga panel and then they just colored it in with their own animation technique. Because the battle against Shishio Makoto did that egregiously. Because the manga has this very excellent not to give too much credit to the author because he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But to give credit where credit is due, to help illustrate my point, the way he drew the action scenes was so that in between every panel where every sword is swung, every sword strike, you can always tell the motion of how the battle is supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the anime, you see Kenshin just go like, all right, Hitemitsurugi style, hammer, raise, slice, and then it's just like it's just a couple seconds of just like panel, colored panel, colored panel. It's like there's no motion to it whatsoever. However, I will say that the final attack, the Amakakaru Ryu no Hirameki attack against Ishio, that is one of the best sword techniques in anime, I think, because you could tell that's where all their time and energy went to, because my god was it great. However, that there's a distinction, because I don't want to put the manga and the anime in the same camp. They are two separate entities. The manga has its author and its editor. The anime is an entirely different crew. Maybe the author will put in some input, but it's still an adaptation. It's a very dangerous game when you just say the anime will fix the manga. By saying that, you don't really defend the honor of your story by saying it's a flaw. Who cares if it's a flaw? The anime will fix it because it's the same thing. No, it's not. They're two very different entities, and to have that mentality is just like, okay, so if someone or something fucks up in a colossal way, what's your defense then? It's like, and then you're stuck there, and it's just like, well, that sucked, didn't it?
And honestly, I think the reason why people are doing this a lot more right now with the One Piece anime is because there's so many fuck ups in the manga right now. That when you watch the anime, like I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish I was an anime only right now. That's how good the anime has been right now with Wano, with adapting that material. Minus one thing, but we might get to talk about that later.
Yeah.
But the way I see it, I mean, you make a good point with the whole Rurouni Kenshin thing. That was also a product of its time as well. So there's some shortcuts that they had to take back then.
Oh, I completely agree. But
it
doesn't matter if it's a product of the time. That same argument it can be made with any story. Dragon Ball, Bleach, Naruto, you name a series that through the manga and the anime, it's two separate entities. Most of the time, they're going to be quite different from one another in terms of how they handle a scene.
Yep. But Wano right now, to be honest, the manga kind of feels like a blueprint for the anime, if that makes sense.
Which is terrible, and I really don't like that approach.
Like, don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of great moments in Wano, and some of my favorite parts, and honestly, some of my favorite characters, as you might see on the screen right now, have come from Wano. But again, that doesn't excuse all of the issues that we've had from it, mainly from a pacing aspect. And that's really just been my issue with Wano, is the pacing.
And don't get me wrong, I still like Wano. It's just, it feels like Whole Cake Island again, where it's like for every cool moment that I like, there's something else that happens or doesn't happen. I'm like, oh, cool, that happened, but then there's this. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Damn it. It's like because if you guys want a perfect example, and I think I had to private the stream because of copyright bots, but when the Kiku versus Kanjuro chapter happened,
oh god,
I went into that chapter. I think you were there, weren't you, in the chat?
I might have been in the chat for that.
I think you and Ultimarx were, because you guys could tell how excited I was when Kanjuro rode up with his gorgeous painted samurai on these horses, and they're all lined up, and Kanjuro is just like taunting everyone's like, yep, your lord's in there. I beat the crap out of Momo already, and now it's just your turn. You're all gonna die. And I was like, fucking painting samurai. The potential for that is amazing, because with these painted samurai, it's like how do I describe how should I describe the fight mechanic? Okay, so the red scabbards, they have their samurai arts. It's like if you dodge to the left of an attack, like let's say one of the painted samurai make a move, they swing their sword down, and let's just say Kinemon dodges to the left. That's fine. However, the painted automatically kind of like, because paintings don't have limbs, it can easily just stretch itself back out to get a blow in. It's like you're fighting inhuman samurai, which is against regular experienced samurai. That's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
And then you had Kiku charge in, and then you have like a clash against Kanjuro, And then we go inside. We go inside the main hall because Kaido's talking. And of course, we have to listen to Kaido because he's kind of a big deal. just saying. He's kind of important. And then he's making his announcement. And then he's just like, yeah, I'm going to take over the world with Big Mom. And you guys, everyone else stay behind. And then as he's gloating, near the end of his monologue, we cut to the outside. Kiku's blade is dripping down with blood, and a lot of people at the time were adamant, like, no, Kanjuro's not dead, it's just probably ink. It's just paint, you know? There's no way that's blood. There's no way. There's absolutely no fucking way that Kanjuro would have been sliced down and left to die off screen after all the shit, all the traitorous shit he pulled. There's no way he would have been off screen and lying dead in the snow.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, so anyway, we did cut to Kanjuro lying dead in the snow. It's just like, you guys could tell. I know you could tell, Walken, because I remember you commented on something when I read it. I was like, oh, cool, Kanjuro. And then at the end, it's like, what the fuck happened to... What the fuck?
Yep.
What? What?
Oh, the bullshit that was. I still don't think he's dead, to be honest.
I think...
Just like Orochi. I don't think Orochi's dead either.
Honestly, I don't think I'll be happy either way, because unless Oda explicitly and if he can, make a rational explanation as to why Kanjuro would pretend to be dead during the most important battle of Wano's history right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, like if he actually pretended to be dead, let's say he woke up at the end of Onigashima, everyone goes off and does their own thing, they leave the island, and then Kanjuro gets back up, and it's like, huh, good thing I didn't step in there. They all handled it well. I would be sitting there, it's like, so, you faked everything, and you just let Orochi die, you let Kaido die, you let everyone die. Whose side are you? Who are you? What kind of character are you?
I mean, it could have been a ploy from him and Orochi. Maybe Orochi knew that Kaido was going to betray him or something, and they were like, hey, let's plan this. Blah, blah, blah. And they try to, escape and all that, but then... Because I still think, the raid is going to end... the whole battle is going to end. Everybody's all beaten up and bloodied. Orochi is going to try to, scuttle away, but he's going to bump into somebody. He's going to look up, and we're going to get that Avengers scene when Loki was looking up at the Avengers, and they were all point blank range at him. And it's going to be some of the scabbards who survived, and Zoro, all that stuff.
That'd be cool. However, I would again. It's like if the characters were just dead. Well, actually, to go back to your first point,
mm-hmm.
I think that was genuine shock from Orochi that he was betrayed like that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you try to plan around Kaido and all his men, I don't think you're gonna make it out all right. I'm just saying. But what the point I'm trying to make with Kanjuro is that if he really did, there's the first scenario I painted. He faked it all. He was just waiting for a chance to either fuck off or just live and not have to fight anyone. Mm. It's wow, that you're not even a character. You're just Oda had no idea what to do with you. And then you have the other explanation where he just is dead. And then you're just left there wondering, wow, so all the potential, everything to do with this character, it's just squandered. It's fucking, again, all the hopes are just left bleeding in the snow. This is the equivalent of, oh my god, actually, this is actually kind of worse than the Game of Thrones ending with the Night King. Have you heard about that, or have you seen that?
No, and yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me think of another example. Okay, here's one. No spoilers potentially. This is the same thing in Star Wars Episode 6, where you see Palpatine shooting lightning at Luke, and then Vader turns against Palpatine. Well, not like he doesn't move in, he just turns his body, looks at Palpatine. We then cut to space, and then we see Mon Mothma, or whatever her name. Yeah, Mon Mothma, the girl in the white dress, the leader of the rebellion.
Yeah.
Like, she makes her monologue, and then we cut back to Luke, and the Emperor's just he's down the hole. You just see an explosion in the background. Vader's unmasked. He's like dying. I was like, whoa! What the fuck happened to Palpatine? What? Who? What? What happened? We should have some context. And that's really my biggest problem with Wano Onigashima. There are scenes that really needed some context, or they really needed time to develop.
Well, it kind of happened in Wano in general, because I mean, we had a lot of times where, like, I think it was the end of Act 2, we were just cutting to days and days, and we're just like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? Why? What? Like, for example, when Sanji goes into the raid suit and fights Page 1, we see them clash a little bit. Then all of a sudden, it's the next day. We're like, wait, how did they get away from that? And blah, blah, blah. Like, we didn't get any of that in the manga at all. It was just, oh, we're on the next day. You know, there was so much more stuff. It wasn't just Sanji fighting Page 1. It was like Robin and Nami still being at Orochi's festival and all that shit. Like, all of a sudden, it's just the next day, and we're like, wait. What? How'd they escape? What happened? What's going on?
Yep.
but you know, we shouldn't talk about all the negatives of Wano, because there's a lot of positives, right?
Yeah, my favorite, like one of my favorite moments in Wano, or really not even like a moment, it's like one of my favorite parts of Wano, and really, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. One of my favorite parts in the series was the Odin and Roger flashback.
Yes.
Like, some people say that was rushed. I think it gave us enough information to fill in some gaps about this legend, who Roger was really like.
Yeah.
It was, my God, I love that shit. I loved it so much I did a stream just reading all of that. I read the entire flashback. It was great. I loved it.
Like, it didn't overstay its welcome. It told the story that it needed to. It told the story of Odin. It told a little bit enough to where we understood his journey with Whitebeard, and then how they met up with Roger and how he started his journey with Roger. I mean, just the other day, I actually read the chapter where we got the journey with Roger, where they visited Tom, and Odin met Frankie, apparently.
Yeah.
They go down to Fishman Island. We get to see that not only Roger, but Odin could hear the voice of all things, because they could hear the Sea Kings as they were descending. The whole the whole prophecy of Shirahoshi being born, seeing the two poneglyphs, and then all the while, as they're doing this trip, they're singing Big Sake. So already you're just like, your emotions are at a high, and then you find out they went to Laugh Tale, and they named it that. And what did Roger do when he saw the treasure? He laughed, and you just get this huge page just of Roger laughing. And Oda's going to pull that shit when Luffy finds it. You know for a fact that we're going to get, when Luffy finds the One Piece, we're going to get that page paralleling that Roger page of Luffy laughing like that. You know for a fact that that's going to happen.
I would actually be content. Well, before I forget,
Mhm.
I would have been fine if we got another, like, if we lost an Odin flashback chapter and added another Roger flashback chapter. I wouldn't complain. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
yeah, because there were some things I think were dragged on a little bit with the Odin flashback, but again, like, and there were a couple issues with it you could point out and all that stuff, like when he returned to Wano and did the whole dancing in the streets. I understand that that's like a negative talking point that people have, but I don't know. He's he's kind of gullible in that way, where he's just like, fine, I'll do this even though Roshi's kind of a piece of shit.
I loved seeing his rise to power, though. It was like
Mhm.
it's
Oh
one
yeah.
of those villain moments where it's like, yeah, I know everyone hates him, but it really is important to see how he rose to
Hmm.
Shogun, and Oda did show that. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and then his two people that were helping him have Bartolomeo's devil fruit and Bon Clay's devil fruit.
Yeah.
Like, what? What? How? Why? When? Where?
What
How?
what what if Bon
Right?
Clay what if Bon Clay this whole time, this whole series, he's kind of like Doctor Who, where it's like every few decades or so he just has a new face and he just does what he wants. Like in one timeline or in one life, he was Orochi's helper, but then in another time, but in another life, he decided to be an agent for Crocodile.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if he came from the Void Century and was doing that shit.
Oh my god.
Like, oh my god, that would actually kind of be sick. No lie.
That would be pretty cool.
If
And
he was a Time Lord
yeah.
from he was a Time Lord from the Void Century.
He has to he looks in the mirror one day, like he originally used to look like this, like he looked like the most rugged of men. He looks in the mirror and he's just like, I can't let the government discover who I am. I must do something to change my identity. And then he's like, oh, wait, a queer. That's perfect.
Perfect, excellent. Nobody will stand in my way. Wait, oh, come my way. Yes, it works.
He originally, you know how he has those like swan shoes.
Yeah.
He's like, I have to look silly in every way. He then just steps on two random swans. He's just like, oh, it's perfect.
Perfect. All right, now I need a new uniform. Trips and like falls into, what, how in cartoons they would fall into like those clotheslines,
Yeah.
and they're just like in some sort of outfit. He's like on buildings after he steps on the swans. He's like perfect. Falls off the building, goes through some clotheslines, and it's the tutu he's wearing. He's like, all right, perfect, excellent. This will work.
Oh my god. I am 100% on board with this theory where Bon
Yes.
Clay, thanks to his change of faces, is like the
The Time
secret use of
Lord.
the secret use of his devil fruit is immortality.
Yeah.
Just like Brooke.
It's his awakening. Oh boy.
Oh, and before I forget, I can see I hope that Luffy doesn't straight up laugh like Roger did when he finds the One Piece eventually. That's not a
Hmm.
spoiler, by the way. I think we can all agree that's going to happen, where he just
Yeah.
finds it. But I kind of wish like there's a moment where he looks at the One Piece, and then everyone like they have their own reaction they want to share. Like they kind of want to laugh, but they don't know if they should. And then like they all look over to Luffy, and Luffy is just like chuckling in the corner, and then full on
Oh yeah.
erupts.
Yeah. I can see that totally happening. Like everyone else is trying to hold it in, and then and then like they're just like, okay, we can't like bust out into laughter. We have this is Luffy's dream and all that, and then you just see like everyone just kind of peering their eyes over, and then because I'm sorry, I think Oda is definitely gonna do that page again with Luffy, just cracking up laughing.
Yeah.
But I think it is gonna be built up with the crew being like holding it in, and then them looking at Luffy. Next page is just Luffy laughing, and then it's going to be everybody else laughing because remember, all of Roger's crew laughed as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something like that.
I really do hope it's like, yeah, just the final laugh from Luffy and everyone else just laughs along. Yeah,
Now,
I just hope that's not rushed. I just hope that's not rushed at all.
No, I think I don't know. There could be so many factors going into why some things were rushed in Wano. Because I mean, as of this date, yeah, he's gotten better, but apparently Oda was sick, so.
Yeah, at least he's better now. Thank God that Oda's A-okay. Can we have a quick talk about something that kind of pisses me off about that whole ordeal?
Oh, go ahead.
It was the reactions that I saw to when Oda got sick.
Mm-hmm.
It was I saw three different kinds of reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, the people that acted like genuine human beings. They're just like, oh man, I hope he's okay. Hopes and prayers go out to him. Hopefully he gets a rest in.
Take your time coming back. Yeah, shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then there's number two. And it's just like, I don't know why you guys are so worried. One Piece was never good to begin with. And then you have reaction number three. And it's like, no, he can't leave us. He has to make the next chapter come out by next week. And what happened? Is it because of something I said about my theory? And it's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no. He doesn't give a shit about your Twitter theory, you ass. No.
It is infuriating to see people like just put themselves on the highest of horses to make it sound like they are the authority on like, oh my god, Oda, he'll be fine because he's gonna make it. It's like he's Jesus, he's Goda-sama, and it's just like, no, shut the fuck up. To call him Jesus, no, thank you. Can you treat him like just a human being first and foremost, please? I mean, if you really just say on your Twitter or on your YouTube, it's just like, oh my god, Oda got sick. I don't know why. Like, what's going to happen once he dies? Who's going to handle it? And when he dies, what's going to happen to my beloved story? It's perfect. It's not going to be perfect without him. It's like, grow a heart.
Yeah.
God, I mean, fucking damn it.
It is one thing to like, talk, like mention that, like, honestly, it's one thing to talk about that after you say, like, after you acknowledge, hey, I hope he starts feeling better. Then you can be like, well, if he doesn't get better, what's going to happen with the story? How are they going to handle that? Because, I mean, nothing against any other series, but One Piece is kind of carrying Shonen Jump right now. Like,
and it's one thing to say that. It's also another thing to, like, because, people can think that way. I'm not taking that away.
Oh, yeah, no.
People can genuinely have, like, oh my god, if Oda, like, in this time right now, we're getting sick, could literally be a death sentence right now.
Yeah.
Seeing the news where Oda gets sick and the next issue has been postponed for 2 weeks, which is pretty much the quarantine time for COVID-19.
Yeah.
I got worried, and it's fine to have the thoughts of, oh my god, if Oda dies, what's going to happen? Is there going to be like a backup plan? I hope he gets better. Hope he gets his rest. It's another thing, however, to take that news and you make videos, you make fucking posts about it, you over-dramatize it, and you over-dramatize yourself. It's like, it's so fucking fake.
Yeah, no, it's just like, that's just people making content for content. Just to be like, check out my stuff. I give out the news, blah, blah, blah. But yeah.
Oh my god.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the greatest arc since Marineford.
No, the greatest arc since Syrup Village.
Oh my gosh, that arc was so great.
Yeah, it was. Cat guy had poop on his sweater. It was perfect. All right. So in the last 15 minutes here,
Yeah.
would you like to discuss? I don't think we're going to be able to talk about what happens after Onigashima, but would you like to give out how do you think Onigashima is going to end?
Oh, so there's a lot that goes into this. Um,
We got 15 minutes. I'll roll
well,
off of what you're going off
because
of.
we're also nearing a very big milestone, as in chapter 1,000, which Oda wants to get out by the end of this year of our Lord and Savior 2020. um, so something big is going to happen there. I don't know about you. I'm prefacing my answer with this. So I think Act 3 is going to end before chapter 1,000. And I think chapter 1,000 is going to be one of those like post reverie, here's what's happening in the rest of the world chapters. Because who was it? It was, I want to say it was Shonen Oji or Mr. Premps. One of those two guys made a video the other day about they were starting a countdown. I want to say it was Mr. Premps. He was starting a countdown for chapter 1,000, and his first video for it was to go through every like 100 chapter milestone and see if there was any clues to anything going on. And most of it was like a reveal of a character or thing within that arc or some big moment like that. And going off that, we might get the reveal of Im-sama, or might be the reveal of what Rocks looks like. So it's going to be something that deals with the story as a whole. But that's chapter 1,000. With the Onigashima raid, it's going to be a group effort to take down Kaido. I think Kaido's going down this arc. I don't want to necessarily say die, but he's going to go down. He's going to go down by most of the supernova that are there. So, like, the main players, Luffy, Law, Kid. With Luffy getting the last blow in. So that way he gets the credit, according to Morgan's. But then, like, because there's so many different ways you can go with it, like, because Blackbeard's on the move, he could always show up and try to steal that third devil fruit for himself. That's one thing. You know, Big Mom's there on Wano, but I think she's going to leave because of something that also involves Blackbeard. I don't know. But you already know the thing about Orochi that I said earlier, but they're going to beat Kaido in a gang fight because I also think Luffy's first 1v1 Yonko fight is going to be Big Mom before Blackbeard.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's hard to say anything about the end of the fight because I know a lot of people are saying that the raid's going to fail. I don't know. Everything's so up in the air. This is why I don't do theories, Trevor. This is because there's too much shit to go through, especially with One Piece.
I'm under the assumption that when it comes, I think Kaido and his men are going down.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's true that the last time the Scabbards faced off against Kaido and his crew, they had Odin with them.
Yeah.
However, they have the Straw Hats with them too now, so I feel like that will help make up the difference. They now have Drake, they have Kid and Killer doing their own thing. I think they're going to pull out this time.
Yeah.
Because now they have backup to go take on the King, Queen, and Jack if he ever gets the fuck back up. But yeah, I'm under the assumption, and you and I talked about before I hit record, where I think the bullet fight from Stampede is like a blueprint for the Kaido fight, And don't worry, I'm not saying that Kaido is going to turn into one of the most bland and generic One Piece characters in all of existence, because Bullet is a fucking joke of a character. But the way that people could fight him, like as I was watching Stampede earlier today, I was just like, huh, you know what? I could honestly see the supernovas like Kid and Law, Luffy, Zoro, just throwing out all the attacks that Kaido's. He just tries to react to shit going down. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be great. And then you can have the final King Kong Gatling gun be the finishing blow when Kaido's almost tuckered out. Just get that final blow in. Yeah, I could see it happening.
I mean, if Pyro Warriors 4 has anything to say about it, it's going to be a good old Gear 4 Snake Man Dragon Twister attack that defeats Kaido.
That could happen. It honestly could. Well, actually, it didn't defeat Kaido. Kaido was just like, oh, god damn it. This is... No, I'm done. Yeah. I quit. Bye.
Also, Kid needs to do some more for me to like him more.
Don't worry. He'll be the one to kill Kaido. He'll be the one to kill Kaido.
Ugh.
He'll be the one.
It better be justified then.
He's gonna like kill Kaido, and his skull is gonna be like Kid's new arm that leads to new insane attacks.
Do you want to hear I don't know how outlandish it is. I don't know if I've talked to you about this yet. I kind of have a theory about a character.
I thought you said you don't do theories.
No, but it's something I thought about.
Hit me.
I'm thinking Hawkins is actually a double agent for Blackbeard.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's how Blackbeard is getting his information from Wano.
That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe, yeah, it's possible because with Hawkins, he doesn't really. This is a dangerous thing for me to say. Because I'm probably going to be very wrong on this, but it always looks like Hawkins doesn't follow his own sense of direction or have his own conviction. He always goes by what the cards tell him to do.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if he came up against anyone too strong for him, like a fucking Yonko, perhaps.
Yeah.
His cards could be like, yo, follow him. Yep. If you try to take him on, there's like a 2% chance you live if you try to fight a Yonko.
Yeah, but I think that's where this ties into it. I think his tarot cards like guided him to be this double agent for Blackbeard. And I think that's how Blackbeard might end up in Wano if that's the case.
I don't know. Yeah. I think it would be too much. Okay, in Pirate Warriors 4, it makes sense for Big Mom, Blackbeard, and Kaido to be in one spot because Pirate Warriors 4 is fucking insane.
Yeah.
especially with how they handle power levels in that game.
Yeah.
However, I think if Oda just threw Blackbeard and his crew during Onigashima's raid, I think that's way too much. Like,
again, it's supposed to be bigger than Marineford.
I don't know.
Plus, this is the versus 4 Yonko arc or saga. I mean,
well, here's the thing:
we haven't done anything with Blackbeard and Shanks yet.
It's one thing for Luffy and friends to deal with Kaido and his crew, along with the rampaging, clumsy Big Mom. By the way, we never did get to talk to her. I guess we can handle that for another episode of Talk Piece. Whenever you're free for episode 3 or 4.
I mean, honestly, she's a disappointment. I'll just say that.
How about this? We'll have like a sequel episode to this, and we'll just talk about Big Mom then, because I feel like we'll have an hour-long talk about her.
Oh, Big Mom.
Yeah, but it's like if Big Mom still can't be underestimated. So like if the Straw Hats have to deal with Big Mom, Kaido's crew, And then Blackbeard and his fucking crew of level 6 and down mates just show the fuck up in Onigashima. It's over. The Straw Hats aren't getting the fuck out of there unless Toki magically appears and time travels in 20 years into the future, which would be insane. But it's too much. I think the story is fine with just focusing on Kaido, take down one of the Yonko, and hit Big Mom where it hurts before her family can climb up that destined waterfall of ultimate destiny.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. Like, when you think about it, because wasn't Marineford just a focus on saving Ace and getting out of there? Then Blackbeard shows up and fucks everything up. And then Shanks shows up and is just like, stop fighting, you assholes. Everything's done.
Yeah, but that's going to be way too repetitive.
Yeah. But still, like, I don't know. I feel like they have to all, like, something needs to happen with Blackbeard and Shanks because, again, they named this saga the Versus 4 Emperors saga. Well, we faced off against 2 of them. Where are the other 2, and what are they doing besides rocking up at the Gorosei's couch to squat there and sitting at the Beehive Island being like, "Zay ha ha ha, I'm gonna get there before they do."
I refuse to talk about Shanks because by this coming Friday, I should have my Shanks video up and running.
Ooh.
About what I think his story role is and like why he did the things he did, what his goal is, like what is his purpose. I tackled that and I make it clear. It's not going to be definitive. It's pretty much speculation. I'm just like, this is what I think could happen. It could be fun. It could not be fun. Who knows? Fuck knows. But I refuse to talk about that yet.
You think he's evil like some people think? Because there's a lot of people who think Shanks is going to be some Eisen character, and it's all according to his plan.
I would rather believe that he is the son of Roxy Zebek.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know. Like, if Captain Rox is like this ultimate pirate, then yeah, you know what? It could make sense because the ultimate pirate would just fuck random women on a whim. Yeah. It's like that one part of Pirates of the Caribbean ride where they're selling off whores.
I mean, apparently that's what Whitebeard did, and that's why we have Weevil.
I can't believe Whitebeard would do that. I can't. I can believe that Weevil is like some random bastard child. I just can't believe that it's back in. I refuse to believe it until I see the love scene. I ain't saying shit.
Oh, by the way, speaking of, children and all that shit. So earlier
You're
tonight,
pregnant.
Oh yeah. No. So earlier tonight, I was on Sensei Inc.'s live stream, and somebody, I forgot who it was, somebody had mentioned, like, the topic of that egg that was on Gold Roger's ship came up, and somebody made note of something that I want to mention to you real quick.
Okay.
And to the audience at home that have lasted this long into the video. Somebody said that Yamato came from that egg. and like Kaido took her in.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know if the timing matches up, but it's something.
I wish I was there. Unfortunately, I had family things to attend to, so I never got a chance to hop in on Sin's stream. I was good. So when he put out that tweet, it's like, hey, IFP, starring this up in a couple hours. Hit me up if you want to talk One Piece. I was like, I can't. I want to. Fuck no.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. But by the time I got on the voice call, they started doing power scaling talk, and I was like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
I don't talk power scaling because
Well, you can talk with me. I'm a good friend of yours. I think we can all
Luffy.
agree Kizaru, strongest there is. All right, and that is it for the power scale talks.
I mean,
Kizaru, strongest there is.
just look at my picture and know who one of the strongest is. Even though he's died.
Dio?
Dio.
All right, but that pretty much covers it. We will have, come episode 3, 4, whatever. I'm going to be pretty loose with these. Every 2 weeks, I'll try to get like either a recurring guest or a new guest on here, or maybe 2 at the same time.
Holy shit!
That should be fun if I can ever figure out a better service than fucking StreamYard, because I guarantee there's going to be some audio spikes in here somewhere that I might have to cut out, which I fucking hate. But yeah, we'll come back to this, possibly back to Onigashima talk, because there's a lot more we could have talked about, and there is definitely Big Mom talk that needs to be had. So yeah, when that time comes, I will make sure that you are involved with that. Potentially just you, or maybe with someone else. We'll have to wait and see.
Word.
Yes, but there is going to be a link to Walken's channel at the end screen here. I'll also probably throw it in a card if I remember it. Future Trevor, be sure to put that in. Thank you very much, and maybe in the description too. But yeah, Walken's, as the Prime Minister of Texas, any final words for the audience?
My name is Ray Skywalker.
And I am kicking you off of this show once and for all. Everyone, be sure to subscribe to Sand Slash.